A guide to losing customers. 11 foolproof recipes straight from the pros. Hi, my name is Christian Wurzelball. I'm helping the textile service industry with management training, know-how in Textile Service 4.0 and practical hints that you can implement right away. Now, this is the second video in a series of videos, and I want to share with you, on the one hand, mistakes that I've seen in the market. And there are many laundries that are not able and not very good in keeping customers. But on the other hand, I've had also a very good experience in my company, and of course I did also my mistakes as well. So I want to share with you my mistakes and also my achievements. And I think that customer satisfaction is one of the most important things. Actually, I've studied Amazon quite a lot in the last 3 years, and I'm also a lecturer, a professor at Webster University. I'm teaching there in course in a graduate study. It's very nice to get some contact to students. It's just a side income, but it's very nice. And I'm doing there an Amazon case study now for the third time. And so I've studied Amazon a little bit, and Amazon is very good in customer obsession, what Jeff Bezos calls as customer obsession. So he really wants to be obsessed about the customer. And I think this is also very important in the textile service industry. So the second real hint, if you really want to frustrate your customers, that you do not treat them as partners. So either treat them as king or treat them as a petitioner. So a customer is neither a king nor is he a petitioner. I personally do not like the idea of kingship. A king is a tyrant in this case, and you should have a mature relationship. And a mature professional relationship, from my point of view, is defined that you do what is promised. So you have a contract, you have made an offer, you have answered to an inquiry, and you promised what you want to provide, what you want to do, and just do it. I think that's the first and very basic thing that you need to do. Doing what is promised is not enough. You need also to go the extra mile. You need to provide him an extra service. So if you provide something that is not expected, then you make him excited. I had one funny experience with IKEA, for instance. I was in the States in New York, myself with my wife. We were just married, and we stayed for 1 year in Long Island, just outside of New York, and it was really nice, very good memories. But we had an empty apartment in the beginning, which was tough for my wife because I was at work and she was in the empty apartment. So we went to IKEA probably 2 or 3 times a week, and we bought everything regarding furniture and everything else from IKEA at this point of time. Of course, we screwed up some furniture also during assembly, so we lost some screws and made some mistakes. So, and then I went to IKEA and I tried to make up a story. I made this mistake because the assembly guideline was not correct, and I was loaded with arguments on why it was not my fault. And then I went to the customer service to get the spare parts, and they just gave it to me. They didn't ask. My whole explanation that I wanted to give them was in vain because they just gave it to me without asking. And this was actually something that made me excited about IKEA at this point of time. And when I went back to Austria, I told my customer service people, for instance, that we stop arguing with the customer regarding customer complaints. So we will not argue anymore. We will just give a replacement. Of course, if the customer wants to exploit the situation, we would not do it. But the reality is that 99% of people do not exploit such an offer. But this made the customers actually excited. And so going an extra mile, doing something that is not expected, I think is important. You should also address conflicts and disruptions in an appropriate manner right away. So whether it's on the one hand a complaint from the customer that you hear from him, or whether it's something that you have to complain because he's not paying on time, or he's ordering too late, or whatever. And then I think it's important to be brave enough and to address these issues, and then you can solve it. You need also to be careful that some customers feel trapped. So you have the issue that they have signed a contract, so they are trapped in the contract for a few years. Maybe you have a very high market share in your area and they do not have real alternatives. But trapped customers will always find a solution. So once the contract is at its end, they will try to find an alternative if you do not appreciate them as a partner. So if the customer is trapped in a contract, he will find a solution. And he will find a different solution than the partnership with you. So never take a business relationship for granted, even if you have a contract. And constantly work on your business relationship. I'm now married 24 years to my wife, and I'm still happily married. Why? Because we have worked on our relationship since then. So I do not take the relationship with my wife for granted. And so we still are talking with each other. We are making our dates, and we are really trying to keep our relationship afresh. And you need to do the same also with your customers. So once you get the customer, then of course you have a sign of relief. You do not have to care about this potential customer anymore. Now he is a customer. But actually now the work starts to keep this relationship, to know this customer even better, and to make him an excited customer, to make him someone who shares also testimonials within his industry, and to keep this relationship longer than the contract term. Yeah, so I think this is very important, and it works. So I myself, we had less than 1% customer churn. So churn rate was less than 1% per year of revenue. Sometimes even just 0.5%. So on average, a customer was 100 years in the relationship with the company. And so if it's 1%, then you can do the math. And this has a huge effect on the bottom line, because getting new customers is very expensive. The first few months of a new customer are also most probably just a negative cash flow, and a customer really becomes more profitable after the second or third year. So you need to keep your customers happy. You need to get a close relationship, and they also help you to get new customers as well. So I want to encourage you to do your homework in this case, and to work on your relationships in a very structured manner. Yeah, if you liked this video, then just give it a hands up. If you didn't like it, smash the dislike button twice, also okay. And subscribe to the channel. And if you're an entrepreneur, then I offer you a free consultation. Just book it in the video description. There's a link. And we have then a call for 30 minutes. I want to listen to you, where you're coming from, and then we can see whether we are fit and whether I can provide you some service. See you. Bye-bye.